ladies and gentlemen, because more moderate voices are being drowned out by folks on the fringes of the mosque debate, like that pastor in Florida. We thought you should hear from the drivers, then, of the most extreme aspects of this controversy. I'm sure you remember Malik Shabazz, who heads up the small but aggressive new Black Panther Party. And this is Pamela Geller, whose group's very name is provocative enough, called Stop Islamization of America. Why choose a name like Stop? Is there Islamization of America going on?
Well, this mega-mosque is part of it, but I just want to say a couple of things.
Well, first of all, you have to answer my question about your title.
Well, there is an Islamization of America.
What do you define as Islamization of America?
I define the U.S. Treasury giving seminars in Sharia finance a week after we nationalize some banks. I define mosquing the workplace, imposing Muslim prayer times on union contracts, imposing Muslim prayer times on non-union workers.
Well, how about Hindi prayer time or Jewish prayer time?
But they're not imposing it. They're not imposing it in the secular marketplace or the public square. They're not imposing it. A woman was fired from
So you think that Islam is being treated differently than other religions?
Yes, it's special
and being
class.
favored by another religion?
Yes.
I'm sure that they would argue that point, but
of course that's how they impose more of Islam.
But you really think that there's some sneaky plan to make our country an Islam country?
It's not a sneaky plan. It's encroaching Islamic supremacism, and this is what we stand against.
Islamic supremacism?
Yeah, Islamic supremacism.
Who's we? How many people in your group?
Well, we have, I guess, 18,000 members on Facebook. Listen.
18 members of Stop Islamization of America?
It's only the separation of mosque and state. That's all it is, like church and state.
I mean, look, a woman was fired. Let me get the other guests. You have several segments to make your point. But let me go to Malik. We didn't come to fight either of you, but the last time we were together, Malik, you mocked the 9/11 attacks. Some video I showed you that you didn't know was going to be seen. Shortly after 9/11, you were in front of other members of the new Black Panther Party mocking the attacks and seeming to support them. Do you still feel that way?
No, that's not true. I have friends who have family who passed in that building. And what I'm saying right now is...
Could you say that one more time, Malik? I missed it.
I have friends who have family who passed in the Twin Towers. But what I'm also saying is this is a point where we can get more mature beyond emotionalism and also feel the pain of the 150,000 innocent Muslims that have directly or indirectly died as a result of the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. America is not becoming Islamic supremacist, ma'am. America, as Time magazine pointed out, is Islamophobic. And Muslims are being treated like the blacks and the Indians always have. And I fear that Muslims will be on the road to concentration camps if we don't put a stop to the bigotry.
That's all right. Concentration camps is as crazy as Islamization of America.
We're headed in that direction.
Well, I don't know about that. And I doubt it seriously. Okay, got to take a card break. Coming up, Pamela Geller, Malik Shabazz, my guests. We are not reporting on another incident that happened at the White House involving the Koran, because I think we're just inciting more violence. I got a note from a commander in Afghanistan talking about another demonstration that we have not yet shown, and he says it's amazing what some folks will do even after they know that it potentially could have far-reaching and damaging consequences. This to our troops in Afghanistan. Do you support these acts of desecration of the Koran, the Muslim holy book?
No, I certainly don't support the Quran burning. Clearly, the antidote to bad speech is, not censorship, not book burning. It's open discussion. It's give and take. And
so you do not support
the truth will out.
These gross acts. Do you condemn them? Do you condemn them?
I do condemn them, but it is protected speech. And I certainly wouldn't want to reward the jihadists who were threatening violent jihad on the one hand. On the other hand, it needs to be stated that it was not dueling rallies, Geraldo. We had 30,000 people at our rally. There was maybe...
According to the cops, you had 1,500.
Go to atlasshrugs.com and you'll see the pictures. No, I welcome spatial scientists. But what I'm saying is that 9/11 was chosen because, Daisy Khan said that she was going to break ground on the Ground Zero Mosque on September 11th. So it's not...
Is this another conspiracy theory?
It was in the New York, it was in the Daily News, and it was in USA Today. No, it's not a conspiracy theory. That's a
Malik Shabazz, do you condemn let me put it this way. The ambassador to Pakistan said that he would be in favor of moving that mosque a couple of blocks. Do you also similarly agree to a reasonable compromise that can defuse this issue while honoring all sides to this debate?
I would not, as an attorney, I would say that it would create a slippery slope, and if the Muslims give up their right of worship here, they will end up giving it up everywhere. Why is it that if the Indians were massacred, let me ask you this, should we move?
What would you pay for?
Well, I certainly wouldn't pay 20.
But you'd pay north of 5?
I don't know. I'd have to look at the building, Geraldo. But I really think if he could sell, and if he could sell for a little bit of a profit, I mean, you know, he's asking 4 times what he paid. Give me a break. If he could sell for a little bit of a profit, make lots of friends in doing it, go to another location where you wouldn't have the insensitivity, I think it'd make so many friends. It would be a great thing. He turned a positive, a real positive. He turned this into a real positive.
Noel Nickpour, Republican strategist, you agree with the Donald, don't you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You know I do.
And so you think, you heard the Pakistani ambassador, I hope. It sounds like, and we have heard, as I've reported, from the other side, not the other side, from the developers, that they would sell for a price. It seems to me the beginnings of a compromise might be emerging. I'm praying for it anyway. Noel, and then we'll go to Malik. All right, go, let Noel answer, then Malik. Go ahead.
I think it's absolutely ridiculous that they would put a price tag like that and make a profit off not even being compassionate. I mean, first of all, you have to ask yourself, you know, is the mosque generally, is it going to be an asset to the community? No, it's not going to be an asset to the community. And the other thing is, what construction worker, if they don't manage to sell this, what construction worker is actually going to want to work on that project? Who are they going to find? No New Yorker that I know.
Malik Shabazz, you spoke of a slippery slope. Go ahead.
Well, first of all, the imam of that mosque and Islamic Learning Center has been working in that community for years. Wouldn't it also be sensitive to move every church from every location where so-called Christians massacred millions of Indians in New York in the Trail of Tears? And to move churches from
Americans,
Native. I'm talking about Native Americans or Indians. We should move churches off the land where they were massacred. We should move the churches off the land where the blacks in Jamestown or Rosewood or Tulsa, Oklahoma were burned out because they said they were Christians. And so if you're going to be sensitive on one hand, you should move all of the churches off of the other areas where the Christians have created massacres, don't you think?
Being compassionate. I'm talking about being compassionate.
Be compassionate. Are you willing to do that?
Oh, come on. Look at 9/11. Look at the people that lost loved ones. We all suffered all around the United States of America, either economically or we lost someone in war.
I think you strained history for your analogy there. Pamela Geller, though, isn't this the time to be kind? Isn't this the time to lower our voices rather than shout? Isn't this the time to reach out and say, let's get together and find a solution that helps everybody, that we love the practice of organized religion in this country. We're founded by faithful people. Can't we do that? Can't we work together?
We can do that. I don't think the imam, who is radical.
But how can we do that when you have a group called Stop the Islamization?
Stop the Islamization of America. Why do you see that as divisive? It's happening.
Because it's bizarre that you say that.
It's not bizarre. Look, have you been to Europe? Have you been to the Middle East? It was once a Christian continent. What I'm saying is, in history...
Most of the Muslims in this country were born in this country.
I think that many Muslims ran from the Sharia in their country. But can we get back to the issue at hand for a second? Can we discuss the mosque? I mean, the 15-story mega-mosque in a building that was hit by the planes.
Community center, they say.
It's a learning center.
A mosque is a community center, but it is a mosque.
Islamic learning center.
It's a 15-story middle finger to the American people. That's my point.
Okay.
And no, it really is.
You made your point.
Where is the reciprocity?
I got it. Noel,
does your guest know?
Noel?
Does your guest know? I think it's time to learn.
Oh, come on.
Does your guest know? This should be, listen, this should be a learning experience. Does your guest know?
It can't be a learning experience.
Let me make a point. Let me make a point. Does your guest know? Does your guest know that Presidents George Washington and Thomas Jefferson were Shriners who studied the Quran and Islam?
Because they were fighting it.
And that Islam is deeply rooted. So this should be an opportunity. This is an opportunity to learn.
Stop, Noel.
A chance to learn.
Noelle, you want to say something
Look,
quickly?
you guys, let's just break it down really simple. No one is against building a mosque. We don't want it on ground zero. That's
Right.
enough. That's
Okay.
all we're asking.
Well, you're going to have to deal with it.
blocks
And you're going to have to deal with
a
it.
couple of blocks, and we all sing Kumbaya, and I'll lead the parade. I'll even write a little check.
Save us Donald Trump.
Stay with the Donald. Thank you, everyone.